Alright, so everybody is good. Some of you already tried. Only two of you, Swandi, Raja, and Muti not yet. Jeff not yet, Okay.
40 pages. The homework.
Even the homework, It's 40 pages, but not all 40 pages you need to fill up, And yeah, since you already talked about the homework,
this is 20 marks, right?
The homework, in terms of the mark, you don't worry about that. That currently, because the structure of the question, actually what like Mr. Lee said, it was reference to the previous type of exam. So what we want to give you the experience of doing this is actually to be able to write, because at the end of the day, you need to write a report, you need to write the NC, things like that. So how you write, especially how you transfer what is in your head into a statement. So that's the intention of this exercise. And the intention of you, and maybe at the end of the day, for you to fill up at the end of this training on the 5th day, for you to email to me, is just for me to see how you write it up. It's not really about the scoring. So as mentioned, the other small part of this training is I need to assess whether you are okay or not. So that part is, I don't give a specific score through this exercise. It was just intentionally follow the structure of the previous type of exam. So what you want to focus in terms of score is the actual exam online.
There was one question related to documented information. So somewhere I think I had a little confusion on that.
Okay.
Then there was one question related to ISO 19011. So are we going to get some questions from 19011 as well, or it will be mostly related to ISO 9000?
It should mostly related to 9000, but they do make reference to 19011. So yeah, I suppose they will ask that, but in actual fact you will get all that in the 9001. But keep that question. So when we do the sample again on Friday, then when we reach to that question again, we can ask. Then we see how we discuss together, so we get a better understanding on that. Right? Okay, so just a little bit of recap, what we already covered. So yesterday was. Yesterday we already covered Module 3 and Module 4, which is purpose and requirements from an auditor's perspective. You get to do a little bit of exercise related to the case study, which we will refer for these 2 days, from today and tomorrow mainly. We'll continue on from that, and then you will also covered Module 4, risk management process, where we talk about the risk-based thinking. And we also explain a little bit about how the MD do it now. That's why we have risk-based certification to the risk-based thinking. So that's what we already covered yesterday. And today we're going to move on with plan Module 5, plan and audit, and also Module 6, conduct and audit. So we'll be doing a lot of activities. You'll be given time, so I'll just give you time to review, and maybe we will also do groups. Since there's 6 of us, then maybe 2 in a group, 3 groups, something like that. And we will continue to maintain the same group so that you can follow through from the document review, and then the opening meeting, and then doing the interview, and then the closing meeting. Writing up the report, the findings, and doing the closing meeting, and also the follow-up. So we'll maintain that later. So and since Aizal and Jeff are online, then later also the 4 of you over here then can also join this meeting, but make sure your mic and your speaker are both muted, so that it does not disrupt, because when we speak in this room, it will go through this. So that's the way we control. That's why even mine are actually both muted. Right? Okay, so apart from the questions related to the exam, any questions from yesterday's activity?
Yesterday there was one thing he told pastel.
Pastel, okay.
What is that for? Actually, I did not get it that time.
Oh, Mr. Raja was the one remembering all that. Pastel, eh?
Yeah.
Do you see that in the standard? Do you see that anywhere in the standard?
No.
No.
Fiscal analysis to be done to understand the risk and opportunity, political, economic.
These are the
Oh, so this comes under then
Like
planning.
like a SWOT and strategy.
Yeah.
This thing. So what exactly the
Hold on, let me go to the
social, technological, environmental, legal. One is environmental, and one is economic. One is political, one is social.
I'm sorry, it's in 4.1.
Yeah, it should be in planning in that case.
no, planning is 6.
Strategy.
Yeah, it's all 4.1, right? Okay, let me just
Yes.
share this.
Economic. Right?
Okay.
Social. Basically, this is the way to
You see that,
assess the risk.
This is politically how the things are there.
Risk and opportunity is a part of them. Risk and opportunity.
Yeah.
Initial.
You see under this, Mr. Ashish, under in understanding the organization in its context, you look at your standard 4.1, understanding the extent on note 2 and note 3. Understanding the external context can be facilitated by considering issues arising from legal, technological, competitive, market, culture, social and economic
One
environment.
of the framework, like a SWOT and
And for note 3 is actually internal context, issues related to values, culture, knowledge and performance of the organization. So this is the popular way of identifying. What's P again?
Political.
Political. Oh, this. E?
economic.
Economic.
S?
Social.
Social.
How about T?
Technology.
How about L?
Legal.
Environment.
And lastly is environment. Even though this is talking about quality, environment disrupted also affect us. Okay. So to answer your question, Mr. Ashish, in the standard does not specifically say pastel. So this is one of the methods that organizations use to identify their internal issues or external issues. Okay.
Basically, it's a risk-based approach. So where there they decide maybe basis on this the context of organization is set.
Yes, correct. You're right. So this is how you want to start. If you don't know how to start to do that, then you can refer to this, and it's easier for you to identify and focus, rather than just
It's more
think out
towards
the
the
box.
approach.
Similarly, it's not stated SWOT there, right? SWOT analysis. So similarly, SWOT also. So SWOT is strength,
Weakness, opportunity.
weakness, opportunity, and threat. So similar. Some companies will use SWOT, some companies will use, some companies don't even use both for this. So it depends. That's why the standard doesn't specifically say that. so you don't have to follow. But it's good to know. It will help you because everything starts from this risk-based thinking. So when you do audits, you actually need to understand this on how you want to do your planning later. Okay, that's all right. Any other questions? Okay, so for yesterday, issue. So today we'll continue on the plan. Module 5 is plan and audit. Alright, question and answers. Really just some small questions. I think every one of you is still thinking about the exam also. After we do some activities to that. Okay, here the audit process. So firstly, this related to planning. So in planning, you need to identify your criteria. No criteria. What's criteria again? Audit criteria. What's that again?
We choose standard.
Standard. Yeah. Anything else?
1001.
What's that? You don't have to give the specific definition. What come to mind? Standard. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Set of policies,
Set of
procedures, and instructions.
Okay, so the other term for it is reference for audit lah. Or the basis. So it includes firstly the standard, and then ISO 9001 if you're doing quality management system. If you're doing environmental management, is ISO 14001. Like that, but our focus is ISO 9001. And then you need to put in the scope.
Boundaries.
The scope, to know the boundaries. Yes, Raja. Scope, to know the boundaries. And also to know the applicability. Based on the scope, you know which will be included, which will not be included. So, the reason for the checklist. And the reason is mainly why you want to do the audit. Why you want to do the audit? Why is it for? Is it a first party audit? Is it a second party? Is it a third party? Our focus here is always third party because you are highly related cost. So for certification, whether it's as mentioned, whether it's for initial certification audit or surveillance. In DMV we call it periodic. Periodic. This is similar. Periodic audit.
Surveillance is the renewal audit, right?
Annual.
Annual one, annual.
Surveillance is the annual one.
And
uh,
renewal?
The renewal we call recertification. So it follows your certificate. Usually certification body will issue 3 years,
3 years.
or 5, I think, no 5.
I'm sitting all 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. I think other certification they do review that, then they give a longer time for the recertification. But for ISO it's still 3 years, and in between you will do surveillance audit. The very least is annual surveillance or annual periodic audits. But
What is the reason why ISO certified auditors are less with TNV?
sorry again.
TNV have a shortage of ISO auditors across the world.
DNV have.
Yeah, because whenever we request for ISO certification along with ISM, 80% of the time, this is auditor is not available.
They don't, it's a strategy that they adopt, you know.
No strategy.
Because you can use a lot of contractors to do it, or you can use full-time, but you have to be justified the use of full-time, because it's not easy to have full-time, but you have no job, because you have to match with the kind of industry codes and everything, competencies and everything. So there must be a balance between these two, the utilizations of using full-time versus the contractors. So they try to arrange plan, maximize the so-called people who will be deployed to the site.
So that means if we do this course, we can become consultant
Can
or
consultants can, but we don't do consultancy here except for energy. It's a conflict actually. So we try to have a very clear line drawn. If you are doing as a certification body, you cannot do consulting at the same time. That's a violations against the requirements. But if you want to be a DNV auditor as a contractor next time, you got to build up so-called credentials after the course, get along, be part of certification body, you know, and they will do the qualifications.
Yeah. In a way, there's opportunity for you after this course.
yeah, I want to do that.
Because you
You
do
have
have,
to do that.
if
You come to me.
Yeah.
if your industries, you see the competency
Because
for your
my
industry, that might be less.
It is yeah, because in my industry, everybody wants to do ISO. It's like our bread butter.
Mhm. Right, yeah. And another thing, I think the challenge for certification body is always, if you request the audit is combination of different standards also. So whether the auditor are qualified to audit all those
That's
other
what I'm
standards.
saying.
Right.
ISM, there are
So,
plenty. But when it comes to ISO, always we say, okay, regret, no auditor available. Especially in US, Europe.
Mm. Yeah. We do support each other globally, but if they want us to go over there, maybe there's another issue of all logistics, and the dates are not available. We already have our jobs here assigned to us, so that's the opportunity there. For every problems or every challenge, there's always opportunity. You can see there's opportunity for you. That's good. Okay. On this one. Okay, in this we will also prepare some checklists and prepare the audit plan, mention what needs to be in the plan, and you will do some research, initiate the audit. So we will go through this and discuss, and then we will communicate, then we will conduct the audit. This dark blue, which we will do the kick off the opening maybe today, and then tomorrow we'll continue with the audit itself, the interview process, and then the audit process is where you do your interview and then continue on with the reporting. Once you do the interview, you do the audit, then you'll be able to identify non-conformity, observation, or the effort, or how you categorize these findings. And then if there are any NC, you will go through on how you write an NC. And lastly, once you do that, you need to conduct a quality meeting where you will present the report. And the follow-up is actually in relation to any findings. If there's no finding, you don't need to do any follow-up this time. You have already submitted the report. If there's any non-conformity, you will need to do follow-up because you will need to give the organization some time to reply, to close the non-conformity, and then you will need to do a little bit of follow-up. Okay. So that's basically the process that we go through.
I have one question here.
Yeah.
You say, okay, we discuss later when you come to that. Let's say go to plan. This is internal audit you are going to talk about. This is the plan stage.
Plan. Not internal audit, just audit. If you guys, as I mentioned, later we can do that. That's the ID for this meeting, and that's the password. When we have some time, we can just log into this.
Teams.
Yeah. Just join meeting and you can find it. Okay. You wanted to ask something related to this? Not yet, eh?
No, it's later.
Right, so mention about that. Together we will cover what needs to be considered when planning. So when we do the audit plan, what we will need to consider before we can come up with a plan, which we will need to communicate that plan to the organization, to the customer. So we will be conducting an initial audit, stage 1, with documentation review. So after this, we will take some time to do that based on the case study, TBC, and from there we will do audit plan and also prepare a checklist. So that's what we target to do for this module. We'll be able to do that. Time will be given, and we'll discuss on that also how you want to do that. Our review and go through with you together. Okay, the process of planning the audit: initiate, research, prepare plan, and communicate. So what does it mean by initiate here? Initiation is just the first step, where you will know whether there's an organization you want to audit for certification. And then-
initiate, sir, is the auditor has to know the organization's name, address, contact person, know the audit scope and criteria, the size of the organization, what to aim during the audit. And those.
Name, address, location. Sorry. What else?
Contact person, audit scope and criteria.
Contact person. Okay.
Focus area.
Focus areas. Focus area because this is
Include the purpose of the audit.
yes. So
Location as well.
in a way, it's a general information that you want to have before you can come up with the audit plan. So that's why the next step is before you initiate, you just want to know, okay, there's an upcoming audit, when is it? So when do you actually need to prepare the audit plan? And for certification bodies, as professional later when you do your audits, you will need to follow the certification body's requirement. Normally, at a minimum 14 days before the audit. So a lot of certification bodies follow this rule, but they can always send earlier. If they know the audit is upcoming in the next 3 months, they can always send earlier. But if they do send earlier, like 1 month or 2 months earlier, then it's good to 14 days before the audit to just follow up again and call whether they still remember that the audit is coming or not. That's my experience. When I do my audit plan 1 month or 2 months earlier, they already respond to the email. Okay, then okay, you're looking forward. Yeah, we're ready. We stand by for that and things like that. And after that, they stand. And if I don't follow up, then 1 week later, when they call, is it next week? Yeah, they get surprised. They get surprised again. Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, it's in the schedule. We already blocked everything. It's just that suddenly they get surprised, and then maybe during that time, one of the most important part is this. During that time, this person might change. Contact person. Contact person. Usually is the MR. Of course, in the standard nowadays, we don't really need the management representative anymore. Everybody knows MR, management representative. So in this new high level structure, there is no longer any position called MR, but we still use that term for the PIC for management system. So this can always change. And some of my experience after send the audit plan, and then immediately after 2 weeks, and suddenly it change. And then I send an email just to verify in terms of parking space, visitor requirements, safety requirements, and then suddenly the message of the email will come. I already left the company. Please even contact this other person. If that type of company, with that type of company lah. But sometimes I also get no reply. Why this person suddenly don't reply? And that day last month they were eager to reply my email. So I need to contact the company, and then I found out, and the person changed.
This initiation will be done by auditor or somebody in auditor's office, some secretary or somebody will do it.
Yes, somebody will do it. It's part of the certification body's organization. So usually they will have a person they call planner. So this planner will look into that and the timeline of the audit itself, and then to put into the schedule, the calendar, and then they will initiate and call the client whether that date is suitable or not. Because that's the simplest initiation. They will just call and ask for the dates whether it's okay or not, based on the main days. Then only the part where the auditors will take over to do the audit plan. Okay. And then we do the audit plan. Once we do the audit plan, then we will communicate usually through email. Those days there's fax. Do you still have fax now? No. You still have fax machine? Really? Oh.
still used.
Yeah,
Still being used
yeah,
for
still
business?
used,
Emergency.
Ah, emergency. Okay.
Fax is there.
Okay. For emergency only, or is it?
Normally, yeah.
Normally now is an emergency. But
Ah.
otherwise we test every month.
Or you
It's
do
a part of
ensure
the-
that it is functioning.
it's
Okay.
functioning. These people don't know how to use that.
Ah, exactly. You're right. You're right. I think that's why I asked that question because.
This happens now because in past people used to communicate with SATC, satellite communication.
Yes,
So
okay.
they used to type,
Right.
mail and send.
Yes.
Now most of the masters, they don't even know how to communicate in emergency. So we have one 3-monthly drill
Okay.
for that communication. That emergency item they will not, because you will use when you don't have any power, anything.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So that's the one of your emergency equipment for communication. All right. That's
ECM.
That's interesting. That's for shipping. Shipping is still required. Aviation, you still need to use. No. How about Azel and Jeff? Do you still use fax machine?
What's that?
What's that? That's a good one.
Fax.
What's that?
That
What's that?
says here.
That's it.
Fax machine? Do you still use
Yeah,
fax
they
machine?
use
Oh,
it.
fax
No
machine?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not born on that time.
Okay, good. Yeah, good answer.
Oh
You
my
you're
God.
giving us an implication of your age, so you want to show that you're younger. Okay. So
I'm joking.
understand. It indicates that we are the older generation. Okay, good to know. Yeah, with technology you need to update yourself, but sometimes it's still required for emergency.
Yeah, it is part of the emergency.
Alright, so you
So
can
that
also
all
communicate.
generations, Z also know that
Z-
what is the fax.
They need to know because they are in the company, right? Okay.
Isn't that obsolete already?
No, it's required in shipping. Every 3 months they need to.
The persons using it is still around.
ensure-
Still.
You want to learn them? You got the two of them.
Yeah.
Every month they do it.
Especially
You can be more.
Crew will have to you deploy on board ship crew or
They may be knowing.
So when you send your
Front
crews
line.
from Zeze, then
The
they
fax.
need to know how to use the fax.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how does it work.
All right.
Yeah, I was able to use it before.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So that's part of the communication. But nowadays it's always email. Email. So and even going forward, maybe some certification body will actually send it through a portal. So the customer can access the portal and get the audit plan from them. And so DMB is one of it. You have the E advantage. Then you'll be able to access the audit plan from them. Once the auditor upload it to the system, they might usually they will send the email to the PIC. But once they upload to the system, whoever have the access in the advantage will be able to access the audit plan. Okay. So yeah, this is what we talk about: the name, location, the size to know the mandates. Every time you do the initiation, one of the main reason is to verify the mandates required, whether it's suitable or not. Because over the course of the year, it's an annual audit, so maybe after the recertification, there's some increase in manpower in the numbers. So that's where initiation is important to get this information. So if the company increase by numbers, then of course you need to add mandates. Similarly, if there's a significant drop, they will also need to review whether they need to shorten the mandates, and it will be suitable to the number of people there. If not, then some of the companies say, oh, business since last year has dropped by 50%. So do you actually need to audit us for 6 days? Something like that. And we will review, we ask for all documents to show the manpower, and then we'll decide from there. There might be the decrease in the mandates. Then scope, again the statement, what we need to cover. Is it a ship management? Is it a yard management or the shipyards? Is it on the aviation hangar management or just a warehouse? So or even crewing for CC. Then we will be able to see the complexity of the process in terms of the risk. Now audit criteria again, the reference of course your standard, and then your the organization's procedures, the manual, the procedures, whatever is required by documented information of the organization. Identify that. And of course, not to forget the date of the audit, so it's clear, so that people don't get confused when you actually come in and you specify. And you will also be in line with the number of mandates, so you'll be able to verify and check whether the dates allocated are enough or not. Because as we mentioned, 1 day is we consider as 8 hours. There are some certification body that allow to go beyond 8 hours, especially if they follow the hourly calculation, or they will usually allow up to 10 hours per day. So it depends. But yeah, not all company operate that way, right? And in terms of the activity, when we audit, we don't really mind in terms of how long they operate. But when we talk about the number of hours that we're going to audit, is first and foremost, we shouldn't go beyond their working hours. Don't hold them back. So that's why we need to identify the date and mandates that we target. Okay, it's clear? Any question?
Yes. Yes, sir. Even in certification body, they ask for the certification scope.
Yeah, correct. They ask for the certification scope. Yeah. Do you want to ask anything related to the scope? Aizat, are you clear on that?
Yes, yes. It's different. The scope of audit and the certification scope is different.
Okay. Scope of certification and scope of audit. So what's the difference?
Scope of audit and
What's the difference, Aizat? Since you bring that up.
Scope is the extent and boundaries of what to audit.
Yeah.
Whereas for the certification scope is what should be written in the certificate that will be given to the organization.
Certification and scope of the management system.
Yes.
Okay. So this is in the certificate what is given, and this is the management system. So we talk about ISO 9001. Okay. You guys understand when Azul mentioned that?
Where is there in the code?
Sorry?
Where is in the code?
Where is in the code? You mean in the standard? Yeah, the standard only specify scope for the standard. This one is by the certification body.
There is where which code is it?
Yeah. So certification body, we have to follow 17021 and the other parts, including documents in reference to IAF, International Accreditation Forum. They will have some guidelines on how we do the scoping, the scope statements. We do that. So as an auditor, yes, you need to understand this, how to do the scope statements. There's a guideline for that from the CB. So for now, usually that will be initiated by the administration and also the sales team. So before you get certified, the sales team will ask what will be your certification scope that you want us to give. So they will come up with the proposed scope, and that's where we will need to verify whether the activities is relevant to the scope. So, but when you look into their documentation, you will just want to see whether they already identified the scope as per the ISO 9001. then the activity only you see whether it's relevant or not, then this one.
Do you have any example of scope statement?
When
Actual scope statement example.
when you receive your audit plan,
Huh?
when you receive your audit plan from certification body like AMB,
Yeah.
in the audit plan itself there's a scope there. So that scope is not written as his scope. That scope will write the certification scope. Ship management, something like that. Is also one of the certification scope.
Is not the scope of the audit.
No, it's not scope audit. Okay, why? Is because sometimes companies will declare their manual or their documentation or documented information. Which will include ISO 9001, ISO 14001, your ISM. So there's a lot of things they can declare in terms of their management system. In terms of their management system. But when you want to audit, that's where you put this scope. Your audit is actually ISO 9001. And then based on ISO 9001 is the scope statement, and this could have also different scope statement by that particular organization. So if you go for 14,000 just for the warehouse, then that particular location of the warehouse only you will audit related to ISO 14,000. So that's why there's a separation here, but it's interrelated when you do the audit. But always when you do the audit plan, you will see the scope statement in relation to the certificate. Yeah. It's actually quite simplified. Here is just referred to standard. So in the standard, what it say, you want to know the location, you want to know they covered all the scope in the standard or not. And this one is you want to know the activity. What activity is it? Ship management. What is it? Crew management for oil and gas, shipping, trading of semiconductors. We can become specific like that. Okay. Clear like that, Jeff? Okay, so back to the risk-based thinking just now on pestle SWOT. So when you want to do your audit plan, you will have to think about the organization, as I already give some example just now. Firstly, you want to know in a way the industry. Then in that industry, what are the activities that you have? So you would need to prepare to think about the context of the organization and which consideration should you make. So some considerations that you need to do. Okay, firstly, can I find the information in the internet? Look for company's name plus accidents, complaints, reputation. Why do you want to do this? And firstly, research. Yes, correct. So research so that you know something about it. You don't want to come and expecting you're auditing a trading company, suddenly you are in the dockyard. You get confused of why I need to wear the coverall and things like that. So of course, research. And nowadays it's actually easy. You can just look for the companies, but if it's a big company, of course you will be able to see the website. Sometimes when you ask when you audit, when you ask the workers or the staff of the company, they also did listen to the website. That happens, But you will need to look into this and get an overview of what the company do. Maybe again, as I mentioned just now, they might have a lot of activities. So what will be your focus? So you will know which of your company here are big, so you have a different division to do different things. So you need to know that which one are you. Just like Jeff and Aizal, they are both under the same group, but it's a different activity. So, and then why do you want to look for accidents, complaints, for reputation?
How they stand in the quality wise.
How they stand, you want to know your status in terms of potential complaints. If accidents, then you might, this might be more related to ISO 45,000. So complaints, of course, is customer, then it's 9K. So you will want to know that any new things happen in the news, and that. So when you go there, you'll be able to verify the accident, especially related to complaints, whether or not they captured it or not. If it's in the news, it's in the website, then suddenly when you go in, they say no, we don't have any complaints. then okay, it's red flag already. So you want to investigate further why in the system is not captured, but it's already out in the news. So whether their system is good enough to cover this. That's one of the things. Where is the organization located? On the big industrial area or in the middle of a rural village? This is important for logistics, and you wouldn't want to be late, as Mr. Lee shared on the Japanese company. So if 5 minutes before, everybody was already in there. At the same time, of course, you don't want to take their time away. If you allocated the time there, it should be early. Then if you are there already, then flexibility of time is not an issue, but you are there. And middle of a rural village or industrial area also depends. Some industrial area you need to go through certain security. There's a different security requirements nowadays. There's a lot of you need to
Safety briefing.
safety briefing is one of it. Yes.
CPR, you have to go for a safety briefing, so you cannot go that day. You have to go 1 day
Right. So
before
you need to
the-
go 1 day before.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the requirements that you will want to check also. In any company that you go to, you will want to check. Okay, how is the access there? Do I need to do anything first? Do I need to apply for a permit? Do I need to seek for an induction? Is it a safety, a quality, or environmental induction? And then whatever is related for that particular location. That is industrial area security or requirements, and then also the organization's own requirements. Sometimes they also say that before you come here, you need to go for the safety induction from our company. So there might be 2. So you need to pre-arrange that before the actual audit. So that always happens.
PCR test.
PCR,
That was one of the first one.
PCR test, those COVID times,
24 hours
I think
before.
my nostrils become bigger and bigger,
Oh my God.
and I do have a sinus. That's my problem. When they poke it inside, then I start to sneeze.
Then they don't let you in.
Then
Sneeze okay.
hey, you're sneezing. They say it's my sinus. And then you check the results first, and then after the result is okay. But it gives me a scare also, right? And for them too. So they look at the result, then okay lah. Then you see again, okay, you're not sneezing anymore. Okay. It was just a reaction because of my sinus. So that happens especially during COVID. A lot of things you need to consider first. Especially when you go into the website, you can have an overview already of this company doing this. Of course, they will have a better safety requirements. Can you find information on branch developments? So this is big companies might have different branches, and you will want to also when you want to arrange your logistic to go to that company. Sometimes if you just take Grab or you just go open your Google Maps, you just type the company name. So be careful with that. Always also check the street, the name of the location and the street after that, and then the number of the building and the street. Over here, I did have that problem the last time I came to do the internal audit for one of the client here, and I just googled the name of the company, so it sent me to the yard. Based on the map, it sent me to the yard. And I look at the Google. Nowadays it's easier lah, Google Street View, so I can see and view. I say, this is a yard, is it really? Do they have training room here? I was wondering about that. And after that, I tried to Google other places, but I couldn't get it. So I called the client, and then client shared me the location. So under the location is actually a different company name. So
Actually now the shipyard also have merged. Before it is the Keppel and Sembawang. So
Okay.
now all in the Citrium. So you put the Citrium, one will be in the Sembawang, one will be
yeah.
And once I told Citrium, then the driver told, I know. Then he took it. I was discussing
wrong
something in the
place.
other. He took
Wrong
it to the
place,
Sembawang.
yeah.
Rather than
Even Singapore like Loyang and Lok Yang are still two different corner.
Oh.
Lok Yang is
That
wrong.
is dangerous.
Loyang is
Better
Changi.
is a
Just
pin
one
code.
letter,
Yeah.
Just one
Just one
letter
letter.
different. Loyang.
Better to pin code.
Just the interruptions.
Yeah.
So lunch, are we going out?
I-
Because Malu is asking.
Yeah, we plan to go out. You
Yeah.
can show us the way, right? Nathan?
Yeah. If we go out, then okay, I'll ask Mark to cater.
Yes,
lunch.
correct. I think we will go out lah. A different view, one doing like that. Okay.
Change. Too much
Sorry,
of-
I just we are going out for lunch and we just discuss about that.
We will also going out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, in
In the
spirit, we are
dining.
together.
The dining.
Alright, good.
Then we can teams.
Okay.
We can see your
Don't-
we can see your
Don't team during lunch. We have to take a break. Don't team.
Yes, okay.
We will get back to you. Alright, so yeah, that's on the map. Yeah, funny thing about the location also back in Malaysia. I went to a match factory, a very old match factory, 100 over years. The location that I went through, it shows me it was located in Sungai Siput. If you're familiar, like Sungai Siput, and then the actual location is actually Manjung. It's about 2 hours drive difference. 2 hours. When I started, put the weight on, started to drive, and I said, why Sungai Siput? I'm supposed to go to Manjung. Then I stopped for a while and called my friend because he audited that place before. I said, hey, why I put the Waze is Sungai Siput? Hey, no. You never find it on the map. You never find it on Waze, so you just find the factory beside it. Then you will see the factory. So he gave me that one, I put it in, then I was managed. Oh, thank God. If not, I would have lose 2 hours to get back to the right location. Okay, and then of course, can you find information on applicable legislation? So when you know what type of company, you can already research, do your research and find out this company would be related to what legislation. So for the legal aspect, especially the high risk activities, aviation and shipping, then for crewing, there's other regulation and on manpower, how you want to comply with that. What kinds of customer does the organization have? B2B, business to business, or just strictly business to customer, consumer directly? So this will give you an idea of whether they deal a lot with another organization or they deal a lot with direct consumers. So these are the things that you will need to consider. Is their business local or international? So then if it's international, then also when you find about the applicable legislation, you might want to also see any international legislation that they will require to comply with. So you want to see that. And where could their suppliers be located? You just have an overview, and if you're not really familiar what type of supplier would they have yet, then you can just think about it. And now with technology, it's even easier. You can just use AI. You can just use ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot just to ask that question. This industry will, what type of supplier would they have? They can give you a list, and then you can refer to them. Is it privately owned or they are stockholders? So privately owned. So is it a business, a private business, or actually it's a big group with stockholders? So this slightly different implication. Those businesses that are privately owned, especially if it's a family business, their approach might be different. So you can already have some idea of how they will run the business and what type of challenge you might have. Some companies, if it's privately owned, especially family owned, then they might run it the way they run the family. So it's slightly different. Okay, so these are some of the things, but it's not limited to this. So a lot of things you can do before you go. And if you're not familiar yet, you're not used to do third-party audits, usually you will do a lot of research first. You do prepare yourself before you do the plan, and you will maybe even call up the person in charge and things like that. So just to be more friendly and then understand better what they do, then will be that. Once you do this frequently, then maybe you don't really do all the other things anymore. In a way, you will be able to pick up quickly all these things. And especially if you keep on auditing the same industry for the whole month or for the next 2 months, then you will, okay, it's still fresh in your mind. So when you change industry, then only you, okay, now I'm auditing growing manpower supply company. So it's slightly different from the shipyard as well. Okay. Any questions on this?
B2B or B2C?
Business to business, or business to consumer. Business to business means they don't deal with direct to the customer. So it's always business based. So the other business will do that usually. So you just like a supplier, you directly supply to your raw materials, and you don't supply it to the supermarket or for people just to buy that. You don't have a duty like that. So with big company, B2B. Okay. Any other questions? Right. It's quite clear what you need to do in terms of planning. Okay, initial audit stage 1. So we talk about that. Initial audit, there's stage 1 and stage 2. So let's discuss about this before you actually do the activity. What is the purpose of an initial audit stage 1? Why you want to do this? Why you need to do this in the process?
To find out the health of your system before third party comes, because that NC will be difficult.
Health of system before third party.
It's like a mock audit.
Okay, so we say mock audit.
Not
This
really
is
mock, because
yeah.
it's a requirement.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can't say mock,
Yeah.
but definitely if you know internally what is wrong in your system.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is stage 1, initial audit.
Initial audit.
Initial
Stage
audit.
one.
Stage 1.
The internal audit. This is
Stage 1 is the
stage 1 means pre audit of main audit. So before that, something
Initial audit stage 1 is for the certifying body.
Yeah, because we are in the
is
cost.
that the company is brand new, you mean to say?
correct. Very much.
Yes, correct.
Initial
So
certification.
initial audit. This stage 1,
Make something like a consulting first.
stage 2. Okay.
Official consulting.
You see, that's stage 1 and stage 2. So now it's just talking about stage 1. It is a certifications body audit. And you are a certification body now. So So our activity later is all put our head as a certification body auditor and not an
Review the
internal auditor.
QMS.
Yes, yes. Review the QMS.
And
Okay.
the standards,
Mm.
whether all the standards have been implemented.
Okay. So to review the QMS. What else?
Any gaps?
Any gaps? Find gaps. Find gaps. Okay. What is that you want to see that day? What is it? What you're going to do that day? And what could your audit conclusion be at the end of the initial audit station? You can answer any of the four to discuss first to get our mind right before we do the activity.
The past audit finding, that it include in stage 1.
This is initial audit, so
Initial.
there is no audit before.
Oh, yeah, initial.
This is just initial audit.
We do the document review first.
Document review. Okay. Listen to this one.
Review of QMS.
So review of payment, so similar. Alright. Anything else you're going to do for during the stage 1? If you remember, we did talk about it earlier.
We check the readiness of their system, like checking the risk and opportunities register, the management review that they had, the internal audit.
Management review and internal audit. Okay. What else?
Clarify the scope of the audit, confirm the audit criteria.
Found it, eh?
Shown there.
Where
Check the initial audit stage 1 on site.
is it in your participant manual that you are reading? So that's page 11, eh? There's a lot of things also in the participant manual, and we can read.
Yes, now, since we are looking at the internal audit, right?
Ah.
Can we look at their how they do their internal audit in terms of findings and so on, how they prove it? We don't. No, but then we review their current initial audit. Right?
Yeah, you are starting to audit the company is going to be certified. So this is the first stage to also review the management review and internal audit. You want to know whether they have done that or not. So as per your question, whether you can go through that, it depends on the time that you have. Because lastly, it will be related to this last question. What could your audit conclusion be at the end of the initial audit stage 1? What could it be? What you want to get at the end of the stage 1? What is it? Anybody can give an answer for that? What do you think you people need?
Suitability.
Suitability. Suitability of?
To get a certification.
Suitability for the next stage. For the stage 2. Because these are both part of initial. So we break into 2. So stage 1 is where we will just do, as you say here, document review mainly. Whether they have all that, whether they comply to all the standards requirement, clause 4 to clause 10, they covered all that or not. Whether they have the procedure or not, you will need to review that. So all the requirements are captured, and you will want to ask this also, whether they have conducted management review, internal audit. And if you have time, you can go to the detail and explain, but mainly it's just to look at the standard, refer to the standard and see, do you have that already? If you've done it, whether you've done it according to the standards requirement. If you don't really go into detail yet because you will be able to do that during the stage 2. So mainly this will be the conclusion, whether they can proceed or not. Okay, if they can, will there be some condition? So conditions here is referring to findings during stage 1. But findings during stage 1 is not related to the categorization of findings yet, because it's just an initial stage 1. Just an initial stage 1, it's not complete yet. So you would do the categorization of findings in terms of what we say, non-conformity, observation, OFI, noteworthy effort. That will be during the stage 2. So here, your findings more is what we call some different city call it different name, but usually issues of concern or areas of concern. You just say it's a concern. So if you don't do anything, it could be a finding later during the stage 2. It's a concern, especially when we say the scope statement, the scope for the management system has not been defined. The scope statement is not declared, and applicability has not been declared. They don't have any document related to that, or maybe even quality policy has not been documented yet. So it needs to be documented. Quality objectives. So things like that you will be able to capture, and then you will only present this what they need to do before we proceed.
What will be the between stage 1 and stage 4? What should be the normal gap?
In terms of the timeline, certification body will give 6 months. 6 months. So they will have at least 6 months to get back to that. But most of the time, if they are already applied to be certified, and they are already somewhere, then
will they do directly stage 2? Like suppose if there is companies are mature, so no need to do the.
No, it's a requirement that if you are going through the first time, you still have to be going through the stage 1. Stage 1 doesn't need to be many days. The most is about a day, if not just about half a day or things like that. Really to check on the documentations, just that you have what it takes, you're ready to proceed. There's no point for you to show up in stage 2 and you don't have anything. Then what do we do? Give you all the NCs and come back again, come back. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So that is
stage 1 can be remote.
Can be because it's documented documentation basically. But again, it is between the customers and the certification body, and it's also okay. Stage 1 is okay to be in the sense, but if the scheme is has to do with 45,000, so it's best for you to go down on site. 45, 14, because 14 and 45, you have to understand the site conditions, right? So it's better for you to address those issues first. Yeah. But if it's really just a normal office, then it's okay.
Yeah, actually, I was in a confusion. Like stage 1 is internal, stage 2 is by the auditor, and stage 3 is the certification body. But that is a different thing.
It's only 2 stages in initial audit, and both are from
Oh,
certification.
it is a part of initial audit is
Correct.
stage 1 and stage 2.
Yes.
And
Before you get
both
certification.
the audit will be done by third party.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Certification.
Certification body will go and do the initial audit in a 2 stage.
Yes.
stage 1 must do initial audit also.
Not before stage 1. In stage stage 1 is part of initial audit. Part of initial audit.
Initial audit has a A and B.
Yes,
First is
correct.
Stage 1 and then stage 2. And same, both
Or-
will be done by the DNB.
Or maybe I put the name certification audit. The first time to get the certification, not a re-certification, it's a certification audit.
First time you have to go to the ISO.
Perhaps I think the confusion comes when even the certification body provides what we call the gap analysis kind of thing. So it's like a pre-audit thing which is offered to client as a prelude to the whole entire initial audit, you know. So that will cause some confusion, but that is actually gap analysis.
First, I can see where Raja is coming from. Documentation review can be done online. I mean, in terms of, you can just submit, then you just review accordingly. But I think we can also bring up a good point, 45 and 40,000. Have to see the condition of the place, the safety aspect, the equipment.
And personally, I would always prefer to do initial audit stage 1, especially face to face. Face to face. Why? Because the system is actually run by humans. So if you don't go there, see face to face, you don't build the connection yet. So when you don't build connection, you don't see face to face, you see on the screen. This connection is not there yet. Then when you go for your stage 2, there's a lot of things, then maybe you will sense that it will not allow for a friendly audit most of the time. But if you're already there at stage 1, you face to face, and if there's a lot of issues of concern also, you can always be confident. Okay, during the stage 2, I can expect this and this and this from these people, these people, these people, these people. Not directly to the person in charge. Sometimes the people around the person in charge that is doing the activity.
But the documents are submitted online, right? First, initial. Do they?
Not
submit
necessarily.
online?
Not necessarily. Depends on the auditor. Sometimes the auditor will ask for some
How much
documents.
complex is your manuals
But
are?
depends, like maybe like who thinks organization everything is blocked, and then maybe that will not be allowed. So you come here, then maybe you look at my document.
After COVID, I think many people are
Because usually for us,
writing fair and
aviation, usually we submit our
For aviation, that will be for, is it for ISO 9001 or
no.
okay.
For authority.
Okay. Right.
Authority is different.
Yes.
In the past, we never heard about such things. You deal with things
Directly.
email, every documents are over or aside. But because of the lockdown, the COVID, this becomes more prominent as a way of doing things by remote. So you are asked for some submissions and everything. But there are some companies who do not, because there are some confidentiality issues, very highly classified things. I've dealt with National Library, Singapore National Library. They will never send anything to you because they cannot, because there is some rules in the internet they cannot comply. So they will just tell me, what you want to see, I show you. I mean, we are talking about remote, so it's very tedious, really time consuming.
There were plenty questions related to this initial audit stage 1, and one question was the audit is initiated and tomorrow you have to go to this thing, and 6 p.m. you found out that the QMS which is submitted is as a draft copy only and there is no signature. So
You referring to the exam question?
yeah.
Okay.
So there are 4 options. What you will do? You cancel, or it is already 6 p.m. You call the in charge, who is at home now, or you will ask your planner to schedule after 1 week when you can have a signed copy and review it properly, and many things. I think I just will be remember.
Maybe you continue with the scheduled audit and then you discuss it during the day 1 opening meeting. Because I think the audit is already planned.
Yeah. So that's your answer lah.
I said I will ask after 1 week. So I don't know whether that is the one I did wrong. Because there were plenty questions on this particular topic.
Okay. Good. Yeah, both of you already tried. At least you can share. There will be questions related to this. We need to understand.
Actually, my understanding was wrong. For me, stage one.
When you
is
take the
when-
exam,
Internal audit.
Internal.
Right.
I was always thinking stage one is the internal audit, and stage two is by consultant or things.
So
like
now
that.
it's clear. Okay, good to know.
So now we also know that plenty of questions are there in this.
Yeah. That's why I say I'm not really familiar with that yet, so I'll get the help of Mr. Lee later on Friday to do some mock-up with together with all of us. But of course, again, you can do that later today. You try again.
You
Somebody is
can
still
one shot,
99
you can
times.
see, yes.
Somebody is already
99 times.
98 times. Okay.
Yeah, for me 98.
98, Okay.
She already done 98 times.
No, one.
No, the left number of times.
98 times.
What's the balance?
No need to sleep really.
What's the balance?
2 hours, 2 hours.
Even you do 5 times already 10 hours, right? So, okay.
Who wants to do
That's
it?
why unless you just click, and then you just want to see the score.
You have to read a
You
lot.
might not get because there's be multiple. Some will need to answer 2 and things like that. You need to choose.
The wrong way of really testing the mature guys, I think. It's
So
for the
compare-
entrance exams for the what you call
Next time,
business school or something like that.
Learning exam, everything is AI to answer you what you need.
Actually, we are
The
working on
application-
AI audits now.
Yeah.
AI audit.
Oh yeah.
Like all the
Online audit. Means
So in fact, you are
Even-
talking to the computer, and the computer will just tell you
so,
right or wrong.
especially our internal audit,
Mhm.
most probably I think we have a target in 2 years' time will be on.
Yeah. I think that approach is everybody is taking that way towards this technology AI. But they will need to go back to the basis of the difference of audit and inspection that we talk about. So if you do like using AI, how far can they actually do audits instead of inspections?
I should put it in a way that at any given time, you know what is the compliance status of your system. Because the minute if you are writing something, or if you have not done what you are supposed to do, it will again give you my friend,
Right.
this is 1 month already, you have not submitted this one or this and that.
So back.
That is, or maybe you are reporting something.
Mhm.
You supposed to report 8 items, but you reported only 1 satisfactory, and so this guy was my friend. No.
Right. So that again is more inspection. So make sure people are doing the things at the moment they need to do it. So that's why I say the difference slightly the difference on how they show the overall picture. Because as auditors you will need to go and also gauge the understanding, the awareness, like that. Not just the implementation in terms of the checklist. Well, that's interesting. I don't know whether they can do that or not. But for a certification body, so they don't really talk about it. ISO themselves don't really say
There
they
is a
can do that.
learning this also, AI audits on LinkedIn. If you want to do a course, there is a course.
Yeah. You can go through that. Okay, just want to add one more before I did. So suitability for the stage 2 is I mentioned again on can proceed or not the conditions, but the other things you want to capture during your stage 1 is also
So, but we did not get the answer, whether to cancel or whether to continue with the draft.
so we'll discuss about that.
Okay.
Can go through that question. Make sure you go through that. You can share the screen when we do that on Friday. or my suggestion earlier, the two of you, if you try that again, and then
I will definitely
you
tonight
record
again
your
try.
answer whether it's correct or not, then you can see. But most important here, the last one is a plan to gather information for the stage 2. The stage 2 plan. Also, that one is what you're going to present, but the stage 2 audit plan.
plan is to schedule, is it?
Not schedule, the audit plan.
Oh.
Data for the stage 2 audit plan. Because when you do all these, you review, and then you issues of concern, and at the same time you see whether how you're going to do the stage 2.
On that day,
Uh,
same day.
not on that day, it's actually you get the data. Some certification body require to immediately give the stage 2 audit plan immediately to the client during the closing. Some certification body allows you to do that 14 days before the actual audit of the stage 2. It could be 6 months later, 5 months later. And up to you. But you want to get, when you are doing the stage 1, you ask the question also related to stage 2 in a way. You want that also. Especially if you do like 14,000, 45,000, you want to really ask people moving around, where do they go and things like that. So you have that better understanding of which location you want to cover. And data here, there's a lot of things, maybe information gathering, including risk assessment. You might already see document review, there's some risk assessment. Then you can see which are the areas that you have higher risk. They already identify there's some higher risk there. Then you might take that up as area when you do your stage 2 planning. You want to focus more on that. That's where you can put into your focus area. Right. Basically, these two conclusions. But MRM, AI, so yes, IA, they need to do it first. If they don't not do it, they cannot continue with stage 2. But usually we also allow, if they're not conducted, but they need to do it before the stage 2. So it could become one of your areas of concern. To say that, oh, they've not done it yet, but they are planning to do it maybe next month, next week, before the stage 2 audit. Okay? Any questions? Any further questions on that? No? Okay, if you are clear, then we can take a break for the morning break, and then we'll come back at 10:40. Is that okay, Azul and Jan? Alright, thank you. Let's have a break.
Or the audit, the company is
Thank
going
you.
to do it first, right?
During stage 1, if they have not done it,
So they can do
They
together
can
with the
do-
certification and audit
not together with situation audit before the stage 2 audit.
before. I mean within the 60 days.
With 6 months, yes, correct. Before the 6 months. Because this is critical. If company have not done this, they wouldn't know where they stand.
Yeah.
But stage 1 they can
That's why
don't need to have
asking.
this one first. Stage 1.
Sorry. Yeah.
For stage 1 they don't need to have this one first.
If they have already done it, you can review as the question by Iswandi. Can I go through it? So they can go through it, and then you can come up with the issues of concern you want. But if they have not done it, you cannot come up with any issues of
Yeah.
concern. You just say they have not done it, but they are planning to
But
do it
it's,
when.
but it's better to do it before the stage 1 audit.
Correct. Better is the word. Yeah. Better. I wouldn't say
Correct.
have to.
Correct choice of words.
Better is the
Because we are certifying for 9210,
92.
the industrial. Yeah, so
Okay.
stage 1 will be in October. So I was thinking.
Yeah, usually they follow the same structure. 9210 is with what standard? What's the name of the standard?
Warehouse.
Oh, related to warehouse. Okay. Too many standard. Sometimes I also
So
don't
if
remember.
you have a one standard,
Uh-huh.
and if you are going for another standard, so again the process will be same,
Yeah.
14,000.
Yeah, correct.
Otherwise you have to integrate.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So that means your side will be 9210, 9201.
And right again you have to do the internal audit.
14,000,
and MR also you have to
Yeah, specific to that particular scope. Yeah. Yeah. Unless
14,000.
unless you already did the internal audit covering all, then whenever that comes, yeah, okay, I done it. Yes.
Because we are using the